Oh, hey, looks like we're on. And this is Cubfidential. I am I'm the stand-in host now, Denzel Snipes. Shout out to JB Ellis. He's honeymooning in Dubai right now with the new Mrs. Ellis. So shout out to them. And we will be talking. We were supposed to be on last week, but there was technical difficulties with StreamYard, and it got fixed a little too late. So we went on and took the week off, and we're just gonna skip ahead. Everybody knows now who won the wild card series and everything. But this is, I guess, officially the first episode of the MLB postseason coverage. Because with Cubfidential, it's Cubs baseball through the season, but be remiss if we didn't address, the postseason. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're going to go ahead and, oh, by the way, if you are catching us on YouTube, awesome. Hit the like and subscribe button to Sideline Sports. Catch us on Facebook, no problem at all. Hit the follow button. Also on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it nowadays. Follow us on there too. A lot of great material all week long. So please hit the like and subscribe button to Sideline Sports Network and hit the follow on the other platforms as well. You can also catch us on DBTV and Stream TV with episodes that you may have missed. They'll be on the schedule all week long, so please check us out. And of course, if you want to just watch a particular episode at any given time, you can always just go to YouTube and follow us and find it and locate the episode and watch the art's content. But let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Jacob Christner. What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm jealous of JB getting Dubai because I want to go there. I really, really do.
Hey, well, you know what? You'll make it there one day. I save it some time between now and about 3 years.
Why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go on real quick to our coverage, and this is the MLB League Divisional Series talk. Whoo! So, first one is a doozy. Rangers beat the Orioles in Game 3, completing the sweep last night to advance to their first LCS since 2011. So tell me, how impressive are the Rangers just 2 years removed from a 100-loss season? 100 losses, 2 years later, 90 wins, ALCS. Give us your thoughts.
Wasn't the Orioles that way sort of also?
Kind of.
Yeah. It's not let me say this. It's always impressive to get to the playoffs. It's always impressive to move on. It's not that impressive to do that anymore. Because you want to know when it was impressive? I'm just saying this. 3-win Rams going to the Super Bowl and winning it back in 2001. Okay. Remember with 98, excuse me, with Warner. That was impressive then because those were even times like when you would get an expansion team and they'd take 5 years to win a game. Those type of things. You know what I'm saying? It was those years. You didn't move up that fast. And especially as a third stringer. It's like now we're talking about a Mr. Irrelevant might be an MVP. It's a different day. So it's not that impressive. We used to say, well, they want to we used to say, well, they want to go on the team that wants to win. We said this with Peyton Manning years ago, just saying football. Now you're looking at the city. You're looking at taxes. You're looking at everything. It's Texas. They go to Houston. They go to that thing. It's not the same to go to New York anymore because the taxes are heavy. Everybody's thinking business now, every single person. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing is both the Rangers and the Orioles, it's impressive to get it, but it's not as impressive as it was a few years ago just because it's the way of the world now. You got to move up quick. You don't have a 5-year stretch anymore.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see because, look at the Phillies, and what they're doing right now compared to what they were, a year before that, 2 years ago, and they moved up like really, really fast. Albeit they didn't make the postseason, but look at last year's Padres. So same thing, but the Orioles just, wow, man. I actually saw a hair-raising stat. They became just the second team in MLB history and the first since the 98 Padres to have been swept for the first time all season in the postseason. They never were swept in the regular season. Their only time they got swept was to the Rangers in the postseason.
Well, something, it's like, and I figured this part out. If you win every series of the year, I think it's like 130 wins.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I truly think that. I think it's something along those lines, 130, 135 games or something. And it's like, so just think you got 100 wins. You never lost, you never got swept once. And that shows you something. That means even if you get one win, even if you lose 2 straight series, you get 100 wins.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how impressive that is to get 162. And just think, the Rays had 13 straight wins and they didn't even make a playoff win.
No, they didn't. And who they dropped to? The Rangers.
And it's like, and that's the big thing. It's like the regular season it's 162. It is one of those. It's one of those that I really believe only the best managers. I think it's the oldest managers, like the La Russa, Dusty, any of them. I think they truly understand the idea of how to play the season. It's like you get young ones and you can see them at first trying to get 162-0. Just, everybody's aggressive. Everybody's this. And then they learn really fast when they get that first 5-game losing streak. That's every little thing. When you get an older manager who's done this for so long, they know how to place out there's no panic to a sweep. There's no overexcitement to 5-6 in a row. There's going to be something else. There's no panic on anything. There's no over zoom on anything. And I think it's the oldest ones that understand. It's the same with basketball coaches. It's the same with all older coaches. They understand the divide. If you win, it's a bonus. If you win all those extra ones, it's a bonus. You're trying to keep them all rested and ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, very true. Well, on to our next topic here. And that is the game 4 is labeled a preview. The game is currently going on right now. The Astros currently lead 3-1 in the 3-1 in the 4th inning. Astros are up. It's 2 outs. McCormick is at bat. So the question here is, can they close out the Twins and set up an all Lone Star ALCS against the Rangers?
Probably. Twins finally win a playoff game. They had 18 straight losses. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, no. The biggest thing is this is the thing about the Twins is they're running out of things. They just don't have the same talent as like the Astros.
Right.
So it's one of those. Astros and Texas will be an amazing series.
Yeah.
It just will. And the thing is, just think how the Texas is doing. Just think how Texas is doing without DeGrom, which you knew he wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Because you knew DeGrom. How many times do I go after DeGrom? Every offseason. 50 times, 60 times. But see,
when I first met you, your target was DeGrom. Then you hopped to James Harden and then to 2 others.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that was just his fans. But no, it's like fans don't get where I'm at. Like, I just had a thing tonight with someone about Bryce Harper. And the Yankees fans were like, that Leach Cashman didn't want Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper in 2018 was hitting under 250, had a bad attitude in the remember that? He had a bad attitude in the locker room, and he had a hard time getting a team.
It's what led to his exit from D.C. And then the next year, D.C.
won the dang World Series that same year.
Yep.
And it's like, but fans don't get this because their memories don't go past their beer. But so this is the thing. Along with this, it's like the people. You remember, it doesn't go past their beer because we're going to bring up Jacob DeGrom now. We're going to win the World Series now. You just not look at last year and the year before and the year before when he misses 2/3 of every season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we're going to change him. It's like an abusive relationship. Yeah, every single time. It's like you can't do anything about a guy who won't go past 3 2/3.
Yeah.
And those are, it's like, but I've had to learn this from, I had to learn this from it was a clip. I had to learn this the hard way. It was a clip of Trubisky's very first game, and someone thought they had a really tricky play, and someone thought it was Matt Nagy. That was, remember, 2017 was Fox.
Yeah, it was.
That's the thing I have to remember about fans when I get so pissed at them. They have no memory. They have a memory of a fish. They had the memory of the fish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying a lot of them respond out of emotion.
Yeah, they have memory of a fish. They respond out of emotion. They thought, DeGrom will be playing all these games this year and everything. And guess what? If he would go to another team, say, they'll do the same thing. And it really stinks. But all the time, this is the reason why you have more workers than you have leaders.
Yeah.
Like CEOs, more than business owners. Why you have more workers. because it's the CEOs and the workers that have the CEOs and the businessmen and the business owners that have the memory.
I hear you. Well, shout out to James Tatum. We got our very own JT watching. Was just on the pick show with him. So please look up that episode whenever you can, everyone who's viewing. And let's go ahead and talk about his Phils. They're hot right now. They're currently up 10
Good for them. Good for them. Good
in
for
the
them.
8th inning. So I think the game's all but over. I know the
That
question
one is.
says, can they propel the Phils to a 2-1 series lead? So I'm going to switch this question up.
Yeah.
And say, can they close it out tomorrow night?
That is really depends, because I brought this up to you in our off show. I mean, just like not show, but it's just like in the backstage. I told this part to you. Top 4 are hitting, and they are and getting on base and all that kind of stuff and getting in. You know what I'm saying? The top 4 players in the Braves. The bottom 4 suck. The bottom 4 suck. So it really, really depends. Like, that was the whole point. It was the top 4 that got them started to get that comeback in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends. If they can shut them down and force the bottom to hit, it's over.
Yeah.
But if the Braves have another chance and their top are hitting, it'll be game 5.
It would, but you know what? I did notice something, and we're going to get to the Dodgers in a minute, but I did notice something about the Braves and Dodgers when they've lost games in the postseason. And the common thing is you have to jump on them early. Like from the first, you got to jump on them early.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no question about it. You have to, you know what it is? It's like Mike Tomlin. It's like a Mike Tomlin coach baseball team.
Right.
You have to jump. Remember when Houston beat Pittsburgh? You have to jump on them early, and then you have to keep jumping.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have to keep going, and it becomes 30-6. You know what I'm saying? That it's like if Mike Tomlin was coaching baseball. If you leave him around, like we did with the last week game,
and you told me that, and you texted me, and you said because the score was still a little bit close, and you was like, "Hey, don't let Mike Tomlin hang around. He'll figure it out. He'll find a way to come back and get you."
And he keeps doing it, and there are managers in baseball that can do that. Dusty did it for so long. Remember, he won how many division titles? Like 12, something like that, some ridiculousness. But it's because if you leave him, if you leave guys like that around, you know, and it's the same with the Braves. I said they have a top 4. They have a top 4 that's hitting a little bit. If you shut them down tomorrow and you leave them to the lower end, it's over. If they start hitting tomorrow, and the Braves can get runs in bunches. If they do it, it's game 5.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's up to the Braves to keep the big guys off the bases tomorrow.
Yes. And with that being said, and I mentioned the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Is tonight it? Is tonight it?
Well, if it's it, it's the end of it's the end of that manager.
So you said you say this is it like
I'm saying
Roberts is done.
No, but if it is, that's the end of the man. That's the end of that. They're getting new management. They're not with that many regular season and bombing it like that. It's over.
And then throughout the years, how many free agent signings? You signed Mookie Betts. You signed Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
You know, you signed all these dudes. You put up 100 wins a season. And
Dodgers, here's the thing. The Dodgers are the nerd team.
Mm-hmm.
The Orioles were the nerd team. I'm just saying these things right now. We're talking all of these teams that have gone out were considered the nerd teams. When I say by the nerd team, nothing wrong with it, but the nerd team is the analytics teams.
Right.
And it's like they're the nerd teams. Houston was the analytical, but they also were banging trash cans. But but before Dusty shows up, and you talk about somebody who is I wouldn't be shocked if he had one of those brick phones from the 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that is not a technological guy. He is the most uses gut manager ever. It's like, when they had that no hitter last year, I was shocked that he went out there.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy that wants you to keep going. You know what I'm saying? But either way, but you get this at some point. Here's the thing: the analytics work. Billy Beane said it himself once. Analytics works in a regular season. It's luck in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? You know where you go to with luck? The old man. You go to the old man and the gut feeling when you get to the playoffs. You
Right.
don't go to the analytics because the analytics doesn't work in the playoffs. You
They say
don't. Yeah, I mean, you got 104 win Braves that has to hope their top players hit tomorrow night or it's over.
there's a reason why they say analytics will get you fired.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't. I can't. You got to understand. I can't stand analytics in anything. We talk about in football with anything, and the analytics has brought a 3rd and inches and some idiot doing a jet sweep that goes 2-3 yards behind the line to go try to get first down. It's instead of a Ditka push forward. The only ones that aren't doing it is Philly with the tush push.
And you know what? Since you want to go to football, whenever we bring this play up, the infamous "Why didn't you feed Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl?" The analytics said that he was poor in those situations all season long.
Yeah.
But what has been the popular,
Oh,
and not to mention when you watch him during that drive, he had a long catch and run to even get him down there, and he almost scored on the previous play.
Oh, I know that. And it's like, and those are, and see, there is a put. That's the thing, though, about the idea of analytics. You want to know what I think, why I think they hate the tush push and they're trying to get it banned? It's not because everybody's getting hurt. You want to know why? It has no analytics to it. It is just a big, physical, powerful, everybody's got to be working together play.
Right.
It is something Mike Ditka would have probably come up with.
Right. It's like straight out of the old days.
Yeah, I know. It is something Mike Ditka would have come up with if he would have been thought of offense like that back in that time. He would have come up with something. It's just a big, grinding, growling play. And
It is.
and,
Not
and
just
the,
Ditka. Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
Some of the gritty coaches from back then.
Yeah. And it's like the reason they want it out is because they want everything that looks flashy. They want to try to get the kids. Why do you think you've got the Toy Story game, and to try to get kids to watch that? It's like everything is to try to get kids and everybody watching. It's like that's why they're trying to get rid of all the violence and all the everything.
Yeah. So they incorporate flashy plays like the Philly special, which, as much as I hate the Sooners, they got it from the Sooners. The Sooners pulled it against Georgia in the Rose Bowl.
And absolutely, but that's the point of what we say. It's like analytics only goes so far. Old school goes forever. And like I said, they want the tush push gone. They can say they want it because the people are getting hurt and wrong. They want it gone because it's not pretty on TV.
Yeah.
They want everything. See, and that's why you didn't see stolen bases until recently when you had the rules change and people are stealing again because they didn't want to see people thrown out. That's why you see more strikeouts than you see of any of that because they want the home run because it looks flashier. They don't want the Whitey Herzog baseball as much as it's better baseball. They don't want it on TV.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Well, chicks dig the long ball, but producers dig the long ball too.
Chicks also dig the 3-pointer.
Yeah, and so the producer and see, I've never understood that. I talked about it on Basket Bros when we had the show. I talked about it then. Remember what I said? It's like, how the hell did 3-point and standing around like an idiot and while watching other people shoot 3-pointers beat Showtime as far as how pretty it looks to the eye?
Yeah.
Watch Showtime on YouTube. That would be perfect with the high definition now.
Yeah.
That the flashy three guys holding it ball for 1 second getting a dunk. You don't think that wouldn't be beautiful in high definition?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my dear God! And the passing. That wouldn't be beautiful. That's the point we're getting at. It's like, how did that get past? How did 3-pointers get past that?
Yeah, and then essentially the type of shots that we used to do in a game of horse, they're nailing 5, 6, 7 of those a game.
I know, 35 feet.
Yeah, 35 footers. But on to our very popular topic, and that's our hot cup time machine. And this is this is going to evoke some memories, just like with any hot cup time machine that we do bring up.
Sure.
So we're going to go into it, since we are in the divisional series talk. We're going to go back to the 2010 National League Divisional Series when the late, great Roy Halladay no-hit the Reds. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk allowed. Phillies won the game 4-0 and they end up sweeping the Reds in the series 3-0. Your thoughts about not just Roy Halladay, but this game in general?
And I believe the one walk was a controversial near close strike 3. I call it the Eric Gregg special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that could have been a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beauty. That was an absolutely beautiful game. And it's like Halladay was a beast. Halladay was an absolute beast. And it's like, you just think about something like this. It's like, how much, just like, with luck and with life and with, whatever you could think of, how much better could he have been?
Yeah.
How much better could he have been? Just like with the, let's see, it's the Phils, the Jays, what if you stay? What if you have more? What if you have more playoff games? What if you have a bunch of things? He could have been even more of a legend than he was.
That's true.
But no, the thing is, do you see what I was talking about with the Cubs when I said that before Dusty they didn't get players? They didn't get the thing. I remember I said that one of the games. This is one of the players that you would have had a chance with, like before the thing and stuff like that. It's like after the fact was over, say it was later, you could have a chance at a Roy Halladay with the Cubs. Later, before that, yeah, right. You get him at 39 when he's with his arms broken down. That's what I'm saying. Cubs have a chance at everybody now in this world. This is where the world's changed. Could you imagine Roy Halladay in those era with those pitchers when that pitching staff?
My goodness.
No, wouldn't have been fair.
Halladay with Maddox.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Or Halladay with Wood.
Or Kerry Wood. Yeah.
Yeah. Halladay with Kerry Wood and let's see, and Mark Pryor, Carlos Zambrano. And
Tell me Halladay and Big Z wouldn't be the 1-2 punch.
Exactly. I mean, just those are the things I think about every time I bring up deals like this. It's like, I've been a fan since '84. Cubs didn't get players. I mean, I can tell you, the very first year I was a fan, they got Sutcliffe.
Rick Sutcliffe, yep.
Yeah, they got Sutcliffe, and they trade off and the thing, they go get Durham and they trade off Buckner. Those type of years. You know what I'm saying? But those were the only them, and then they got Andre Dawson in '87. That was my first big one. Those are about the only names outside of Sosa, and Sosa was a skinny kid back then.
And Dawson is arguably the best Cubs player of the 1980s.
Yep. And he had 2 years of the '80s. That's the funny part. But but think about it, they got Sosa, but they got him as a skinny kid, and he just grew. And he became, but he wasn't. I mean, I'm talking about, badasses in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they don't get those back in the day. Imagine getting a Roy Halladay in your prime. It's like the Cubs now have with Suzuki out there in Chicago, you could always have a puncher's chance at Ohtani.
I still think they got a shot now.
Yeah, I'm saying now. You get this. It's like, this is the thing. It's like you didn't have those back. This is why I talk about why the Cubs have any chance now at a World Series anytime they want to, if they go pick the right guys up. It's like a Roy Halladay would have gotten them one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, going on to our final topic real quick. Cub or dud? For the second straight postseason, neither the Dodgers or the Braves make the NLCS. Cub or dud?
Oh, well, I don't stay silent this long too often. Dodgers are gone. I think they're gone. Braves, again, top 4 are getting on base, even if it's not meaning much. It's not like everybody's struggling like in certain part of these series or one guy hits. 4 guys are relatively well hitting. You know what I'm saying? 4 guys are relatively doing that. So if they get on and they make it regular and you're not forcing the bottom to do anything, this game 5, and then you'll see. And you'll see. So that's the thing. I can't say no with the Braves because they hit in bunches.
They do.
They do. So you can't, but it's like the top 4 are hitting. They get on base even if it's not meaning much now, but that's the top 4 are what got that comeback going in the first place.
Yeah, and not to mention, they probably are the most complete team in the playoffs right now.
They really.
Not only can they dominate you, but as you can see from game 2, they can come from behind and get you.
Well, let me tell you this right now. Winner of this series going to the World Series. Arizona has no chance.
The winner of
The
Braves
winner of
Phillies?
this series going to the World Series because Arizona doesn't have a chance against either.
Okay.
No way. Both. Even though the Braves are the most complete team, they're both the two most complete teams in this playoffs.
Yeah. No.
And it's like the Arizona's cooked against either of them.
Against the Phillies or the Braves.
Yeah.
So this series right here is the unofficial NLCS.
I have no question in my mind. I just do not. I think the Dodgers are just the Dodgers getting themselves in their own head, and the Arizona's playing well. But I'm like, they do not have the same talent that the Braves or Phillies have.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, that is our show for this evening. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Sideline Sports' very own Cubfidential. Next week's episode is going to be the League Championship Series talk. Phillies just closed it out. 2-1 Phillies. Just as we end the show, the Phillies closed it out.
10-2.
So Phillies win 10-2. The series is Phillies 2-1. Game 4 will be tomorrow night. And just a quick update before we go off the air. Let's see. At the end of the 4th, bottom of the 5th, Astros 3-1. So next week, JB Ellis should be back. But it will be the League Championship Series episode. So we'll be talking about the teams that's in the League Championship Series. And then, of course, after that will be the World Series. And then, of course, after that will be the season wrap-up. So last week we were supposed to have the Cub season wrap-up, just overall thoughts about the Cubs this season. But we're going to go ahead and push that to the overall season wrap-up episode, the last episode before we head into the off-season. So
I want to see Braves. I do, just because I'm in Atlanta. I want to see Braves and Astros again. That could be beautiful. But regardless, we can see Phillies and Astros again. We'll see.
We could very well see a rematch. But with that being said, myself and Jacob Christner, if you go to the South Florida Tribune here in about 15, maybe 30 minutes, you can catch us on the Sports Exchange with Scott Morganroth, and also George Eichhorn will be on. So we all will be on the Sports Exchange, and as well as Candy Ebling. So definitely find the South Florida Tribune on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit the follow button just like you would, as well as the notification bell for both Sideline Sports and South Florida Tribune, and catch us on there. We'll be having some great talk, and then by that time I'll be long-winded, and I'm going to have a vodka and call it a night. So for myself and Jacob Christner, this is Cubfidential. We will see y'all next week as far as Cubfidential, and in about a half hour for Sports Exchange. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in 7.